You join me to invoke the name of teacher 3 times. Namo Sakya Ni Buddha. Namo Sakya Ni Buddha. Namo Sakya Ni Buddha. Today I talk to you about the general teaching. You know that Buddha tell us, when you practice, you need to study. Because practice without studying, sometimes it's like a blind faith, like sometimes like a superstition. Us, the Buddhists, we believe in intelligent faith. You study something, you have to understand it. It's very intelligent. It's not dogmatic. It's not like the other religion. They make you have to believe something. You cannot change it, you believe blindly. In Buddhism, no. Buddha teaches and tell us that you are an intelligent person. You have your intrinsic value, your Buddha nature. You are very intelligent, so you have to learn the intelligent way. So that's the way we learn it. And you learn it. And in Buddhism, they divide it, artificially, like a 5 periods of learning. The first one is the one when Buddha first get alignment. You have Avantasaka Sutra. That's a very high. When you first do that, you want to teach that sutra. You realize it's so high, so the people don't understand that. You said that one really to teach the Bodhisattva, the high disciple. So he go to next step, the Agama Sutra, to teach it. That's the one for the Hinayana people. They use a lot. It's very easy for people to understand, to go in and to understand Buddhism. That's the period. The third period is the Phuoc Sutra. That's the one for the Mahayana. It's very profound. It's a little bit longer. So it's like a little bit more complicated for the Mahayana Sutra. Mahayana, the school, okay? And the fourth one is the Pranaparamita Sutra. It's the one, you learn, you improve yourself a lot. The last one, near the end of life of our Buddha, is the Saddhamma Pundarika Sutra. That's the Lotus Sutra. That's the one we use here. It's our school, the Kendai school. We use that, the main sutra, we use it. That's the wonderful sutra. That's the one, the best sutra we have it. That's near the end of our Buddha. So I just remind you 5 period of teaching. The first one is Avantasaka Sutra. That's the difficult one. That one mostly for the high level, the Bodhisattva. The second one, Buddha realized that to help the people to understand better, to go in progressively, is Agama Sutra. That is the Hinayana people, they use a lot. The Theravada, they use a lot to help us to go. And the third period is the Mahayana school. That's the one that the Phuoc Sutra. That's lengthy. That's a little bit more complicated. It's our school. Okay? And the fourth one is Prana Paramita. That's the one we use it and we improve ourselves. And the last one is Sadama Pundarika, the Lotus Sutra, the Parinirvana. That's the last period, the one near the end, the life of our Buddha. Buddha is a wonderful teacher. He teaches us so we can understand it. Like you know that, like I repeat it, it's not dogmatic. In Buddhism, there's no dogma. They don't have something imposed on you. You have to believe it, and you cannot change it. Buddha say even in the precept, he tell near the end, he tell Ananda, said, later on, you can change it. You adapt it to the culture, to the place, to the time. You can change it. You don't have to be just rigid, like a rigid teaching. You can change, adapt it. So now, frankly, now we are American Buddhism, okay? It's difficult. It's different than, you see, if the Buddhism from Sri Lanka or Buddhism from India or the original Buddhism. No, it goes to the country, adapt to the culture, to the people, to the time, to the place. So it's very adaptable. So that's a wonderful thing about Buddhism, okay? And you need to understand it. The more you understand, the better you practice it. We don't practice blindly. We practice intelligent way, okay? Because in Buddhism, we have a mutual respect. We study together. We respect each other. We love each other. We don't see that. We don't see like, oh, we are monk. We are above you. No, we are the same level. Okay, because all of you we have Buddha nature like us, even like a Buddha. Buddha have a Buddha nature. He's a human being. He practiced and he improved himself. He gave us a good example. He said, you practice it, you improve yourself. With the diligence, with the perseverance, you can get it. You go to the end, you get the enlightenment. You get the enlightenment, you become awakened. You become awakened, you become a Buddha. So Buddha, what it means, awakened person? Because you have your awakened nature. Awakened nature, we have it. Some people, they said, oh, they don't believe in Buddha nature. We call it awakened nature. We call it intrinsic value. Everybody, every human being, we have intrinsic value. It's our awakened nature. And if you see, you believe in your awakened nature, you can study, you can elevate yourself, okay? And the methodology in the study Buddhism is a fantastic. Buddha is a wonderful teacher. He teaches how to get in gradually. They have two ways to go to Buddhism. Some they call a sudden way. It's the very gifted people. Like probably last life they were practicing Buddhism already. They are almost bodhisattva. So this life they come back, they're very gifted. They study very well, so they have a sudden enlightenment, sudden realization. We normal people, we go to a progressive way. We go slowly, step by step, but we get there. Okay? Like you see in life, some people, some musicians, some composer, they compose music, they play well by the age of 6 years old, 7 years old, 12 years old. They are gifted. Probably last life they were musician already. There was a composer already. So this life they come back, they're gifted. Like we see some people, they have a PhD degree at 12 years old. They're gifted. Maybe the last life they study already. So they come back this life, they have the baggage already. They have the knowledge already. So they go faster than us. But we are normal people. We have to go to kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, high school, go to college. Gradually, we graduated. We are normal person. We're not gifted like them. So that's the way we study Buddhism. So in Buddhism, they have different way. They have the 12 branch, how to study, okay? How to get it. Buddha teaches. The first one is a sutra. It's a sutra. It's a discourse about a single topic. It's a very good study. Buddha give us the topic and guide us. So we go in there, we can study it. We can go step by step. We understand it. And we have a peaceful joy. We enjoy the study. And it helps us. That's the sutra. The second one is the Gaya. The Gaya is the discourse in verse. The sutra mostly in prose, in the form. They have a short form, they have middle form, they have long form. The Gaya is the verses. That's the one mostly the beginning of the study and the end of the study. It's like 4 verses. It's very easy to remember. It's simple. Sometimes it summarizes the study, the discourse, and it's easier to study. You know, in before, like in Europe, like we know it, mostly the teaching in verses, in like verses like the form like music time. So easy for people to understand and to remember. That's the way Buddha teaches and how we can study it. That's the Gaya, the discourse in verses. And the third one is the Vyakarana. That's the prophecy. That's the one, discuss about the past life, the future of the people. They become Bodhisattva, they become Buddha. That's the prophecy. And the fourth one, that's the Gatha. The Gatha is the verse summary, okay? That's the former, like the beginning of the discourse, the end of the discourse, that informs of the verses. It's the summary. And the fifth one is the Udana. That's the one spoken by Buddha himself. Nobody asked him. Nobody asked the question. He just do it. He just by himself. He gave the lecture. They call it Udana. And the sixth one is the Nidana. The Nidana is an explanation from specific incident. Somebody have a question, something, ask Buddha. Buddha teach about that. And he teach about the principle, the guideline. That's the Nidana. The seventh one, the Avadana. The Avadana is the life story of a Buddha, of Bodhisattva disciple. Their story, their life story. And some individual too, some enlightened individual. And number 8 is Iti Prataka. That's the historical accounts. It's like a genealogy. Okay? They teach about the life of the Buddha before, how they do, how they practice it. And the number 9 is the Zataka. That's the life of our Buddha, the one before. how he practice, how he get to the alignment. And then number 10 is Vaipulya. That's the long, the complex teaching. That's the sutra of Mahayana school. That's our school, okay? Our Mahayana. And the number 11, Abhidhamma. That wondrous accomplishment of the Buddha, the disciple, and the Bodhisattva. And the last one is Udadesa. That's the topic of a specific knowledge. That's a very profound. It's a special instruction of the nature of a reality. So you see the 12 branch of the teaching. Let's do it the simple way. So you have some idea. So you go home or get on the online, you can study a little bit more. Step by step you understand. Because frankly, Buddhism is very profound, okay? Nobody can say that we understand that. Like in Mahayana Buddhism, there's 6,000 volumes, okay? 6,000 books. It's nearly impossible for us to study it in our lifetime. You can use all your life to study. You never finish 6,000 books. If you fit, you just go maybe a few hundred books. But to go for over 6,000 books, it takes us many lifetimes to study. It takes how many generations they write 6,000 books. It's complicated, it's very profound. But if we go in step by step, now we have a general information about Buddhism. Like I told before, it depends on your preference, okay? After you know a little bit more about the general instruction about Buddhism, it can get in something you like, some sutra you like, and you practice daily. You enjoy that sutra, you study more. You don't have to go all over, but for the general instruction, you need to know a little bit more. Like in general education, you have the general education before you go in specialty. Nobody can go in general education for a long time because it's too vast. But later on, you have to specialize it. After you finish like high school, you get the 12th grade, you have a general education, and go up to college, you specialize, you go in law school, you go to art school, or go to medicine, go to different, you specialize it, but at least we have to have a general education. In Buddhism, the same way. You want to practice Buddhism, you need to have some general education, some general information, and after that, you can go in the field, the branch you like, the sutra you like, you practice it. But to really understand, you need a little bit general information. Later on, you can help your friend, the people, they want to study Buddhism. They ask you the question, at least you know about general information, you can help them. You help yourself understand better. That's the way we educate ourselves of Buddhism. Buddhism is very profound. It's the study is pretty complicated, very sophisticated. It's not simple because Buddhism is very comprehensive. You can say that it's philosophy, you can say it's psychology, you can say that's art, you can say it's science. It's everything in there. You can have everything, you find everything in Buddhism. It's a wonderful study. So, need to study the right way, okay? And we help each other by studying. We, as monk, we help you a little bit. And Quang, Dr. Alex Quiros, he helped too. He teach the 101 Buddhism. He wants to help people to to go in a little bit deeper. We don't claim that we know a lot. We know a little. We know very little. Like the leaf in the forest have so many. We have a few in our hand only, not very many. But we try to get it, to understand, to help ourselves and help you. So hopefully we monk can learn. And one time Dr. Alex Quiros, he helped you too. So we all study together. We help each other. So maybe we can advance it. We can penetrate it gradually in the forest of Buddhism. That's our dream, okay? To study and to practice the intelligent way. Then practice blindfoldly, okay? If you practice blindfoldly, it doesn't help you. You don't enjoy the study Buddhism. If you want to enjoy Buddhism, you want to get benefit from the practice of Buddhism, you need to practice with study. Go hand in hand. Practice is study. Study without practice become very arrogant. We think, oh, I know a lot. I know a lot about Buddhism. I read a lot. No, it's not enough. We need to practice. The more we practice, the more we go deeper. You know, monks, they spend all their life to study. They never claim they know, okay? Like the Lotus Sutra, the last one, the Sada Pundarika Sutra, that wonderful sutra, we chant day in, day out. You chant it, it's a 28 chapter. You chant it, we finish once a month. So a year, we go over the book only 12 times. So some monks, they say that, oh, I practiced a few hundred times. So how many years? Maybe all his life. All his life, maybe he could go few hundred times that Lotus Sutra. Because only once a month, you finish the book. So a year, you finish 12 times the book. 10 years, that means 120 times. So that's not much. So you see, that's the study. So please be patient and study. We enjoy it and benefit it. It's continuous practice, continuous study. That's all I talked to you about today, the general life. Maybe it's not enough for you to that, but give you some guideline and you go home, open the book or get online, study a little more. A little bit every day, you understand more. And you can help the other people. You can guide them. The only thing in Buddhism, do not distort the teaching of our Buddha. That's the sin. It said, you can do everything out of respect for him, then distort his teaching. Okay? He gave us with sincerity. We need to learn with sincerity. Practice with sincerity. Don't fool ourselves. Don't fool the other people. If we fool ourselves, we deceive ourselves. Don't do it. Do not deceive ourselves. Do not fool ourselves. Do it with sincerity. And you will benefit the other people. Buddha said, the best way to practice, benefit other people. That's the way to practice Buddhism. You don't practice just for yourself. You practice with the idea. You benefit yourself, benefit the other people. That's the goal of the practice of Buddhism. As I tell you today, a little bit about my knowledge, very little. I know very little. The tip of the finger, the nail, not that very much, but I want to share with you. Okay? If you have any question, I try to answer your question. Okay? If you have no question, we transfer the merit, we go to chanting. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Any positive karmic action we accomplish today, we want to transfer to everybody, wish them the alignment. Inviting the bell. Bodhi speech
and mind in perfect oneness, I send my heart along with the sound of the. May the hearers awaken from forgetfulness and transcend all anxiety and sorrow. Listen, listen, this wonderful sound brings me back to my true home.
Incense offering. In
gratitude we offer this incense to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas throughout space and time. May it be fragrant as earth herself, reflecting careful efforts, our wholehearted mindfulness, and the fruit of understanding slowly ripen. May we and all beings be companions of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May we awaken from forgetfulness and realize our true home.
Opening verse. The incense
in the censer now is burning, all the Dharma realm in every place. Clouds appearing, our sincere intention thus fulfilling, as all Buddhas now show their perfect body. Homage to the incense cloud canopy, Bodhisattva and great Bodhisattvas.
Verses for bowing. We bow together. Homage
to the eternally abiding Buddhas, the supreme Dharma and Savior. usually sung through Dharma realm and the realm of entities, and 3 periods of time. The fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha, Treya honored future Buddha, Manjushri great wisdom Bodhisattva, Versal great conduct Bodhisattva, all Dharma guarding Deva Bodhisattvas, and the glorious mountain assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. To Amitabha Buddha in the land of ultimate bliss, Avalokiteshvara, great compassion Bodhisattva, great strength Bodhisattva, earth store great vow Bodhisattva, and the assembly of great pure sea-lying Bodhisattvas.
Please sit down. The great compassion mantra, Namo.
Great compassionate Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Namo. Great compassionate Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Namo. Great compassionate Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
Namo
Nakaya Namo Harya Avalokiteshvaraya Bodhisattvaya Mahasattvaya Mahakarunikaya Om Sarvaravaye Sodanadasya Namaskritva Himamarya Avalokiteshvara Ramdava Namo Narakini Hri Mahavaswami Sarvaharatu Shubham Ajiyam Sarvasattva Namo Vastava Namo Vakamavitatu Tadyata Om Avalokilokate Karate Hiri Mahabodhisattva Sa sarva mahi mahi hridayam koro koro karmam doro doro vijate maha vijate dara dara dirinishvaraya chala chala mama vimala muktelehi shina shina asham prashari visha vishwamam prashaya olo olo mara olo olo hri sara sara siri siri soro soro bodhiya bodhiya bodhaya bodhaya Maitreya Narakindi Peshanina Mayamana Swaha Siddhaya Swaha Mahasiddhaya Swaha Siddhayoge Shvaraya Swaha Narakindi Swaha Maranara Swaha Sirasima Mokaya Swaha Sarva Mahasiddhaya Swaha Chakra Siddhaya Swaha Padmakastaya Swaha Narakindi Vagalaya Swaha Mavari Sankaraya Swaha Namo Ratna Trayaya Namo Harya Padokite Shvaraya Swaha Om Siddhyanto Mantra Padaya Swaha.
The Dhamma
He is bringing morning light in concentration. My heart is at peace. A smile is born on my lips. This is a new day, and I vow to go through in mindfulness. The sun of wisdom has risen, shining in every direction. Noble Sangha, diligently bring your mind into meditation. Namo Shakyamunaye Buddhaya. Namo Shakyamunaye Buddhaya. Namo Shakyamunaye Buddhaya.
First is opening a sutra. The unsurpassed,
profound and wonderful Dharma is difficult to encounter in hundreds of millions of eons. I now see and hear it, receive and uphold, and I vow to fathom the Tathagata's true meaning. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha.
touching the earth, the
one who is vowed to are both by nature empty. Therefore the communication between them is inexpressibly perfect. Our practice center is the net of Indra, reflecting all Buddhas everywhere, as my own person reflects in all Buddha, to whom I go for refuge.
Offering
Light in the 10 directions, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, to whom in gratitude
teaching
and living the way of awareness in the very midst of suffering and confusion. Shakyamuni Buddha, the awakened one, to whom we bow in gratitude.
cutting
Through ignorance, awakening our hearts and our minds, Manjushri, the Bodhisattva of great understanding, to whom we bow in gratitude.
working
Mindfully working joyfully for the sake of all beings, Mantabhadra, the Bodhisattva of great action, to whom we bow in gratitude.
responding
To suffering, serving beings in countless ways, Padukiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of great compassion, to whom we bow in gratitude.
seed of
Awakening and loving kindness in children, sprouts, and all beings, Maitreya, the Buddha to be, to whom we bow in gratitude.
showing
The way fearlessly and compassionately, the stream of all our ancestral teachers, to whom we bow in gratitude.
the Dharma
Is deep and lovely. We now have a chance to see it and practice it. We vow to realize its true meaning.
the Uttapana Paramita, the
Bodhisattva Avalokita, while moving in the discourse of Prajna Paramita, shed light on the 5 skandhas and found them equally empty. After this penetration, he overcame ill-beingness and Shadiput. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form, form is not other than emptiness, emptiness is not other than form. The same is true with feelings, mental formations, and consciousness. Listen, Shariputra, all dharmas are marked with emptiness. They are neither produced nor destroyed, neither defiled nor immaculate, neither increasing nor decreasing. Therefore in emptiness there is neither form nor feelings, nor perception, nor mental formation, nor consciousness, no eye or ear or nose or tongue or body or mind, no form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object, no realms of elements, no interdependent origins, and no extinction of them, no ill-being, no cause of ill-being, no end of ill-being, and no path, no understanding, no attainment, because there is no attainment. The Bodhisattvas ground in Prajna Paramita find no having no obstacles, they overcome fear, liberating themselves forever from illusion and realizing perfect nirvana. All Buddhas in the past, present, and future arrive at Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. For one should know that perfect understanding is the highest mantra, the unequaled mantra, the destroyer of ill-being, the incorruptible truth, the mantra prajna paramita should therefore be Gate gate para samgate bodhi swaha gate para samgate bodhi swaha gate para samgate bodhi swaha.
Invoking the Bodhisattva's name, we invoke
your name, Avalokiteshvara. We aspire to learn your way of listening in order to help relieve the sufferer in the world. You know how to listen in order to understand. We invoke your name in order to practice listening with all our attention and open-hearted. We will sit and listen without any prejudice. We will sit and listen without judging or reacting. We will sit and listen in order to understand. We will sit and listen so attentively that we will be able to what the other person is saying, and also what is being left unsaid. We know that just by listening deeply, we already alleviate a great deal of pain and suffering in the other person.
We invoke
your name, Manjushri. We aspire to be still and to look deeply into the heart of things and into the hearts of people. We will all our attention and open-heartedness. We will Judas' eyes. We will look without judging or reacting. We will look deeply so that we will be able to and understand the roots of suffering through the impermanence to cut through the bonds of suffering, ourselves and other species.
We invoke
Your name, Samantabhadra, we aspire to learn. Act with the eyes and heart of compassion to bring joy to one person in the morning and to ease the of one person in the afternoon. We know that happiness of others is our own happiness, and we aspire to practice path of service. We know that every word, every look, every action, and every smile can bring happiness to others. We know that if we practice heartedly, we ourselves may become an inexhaustible source of peace and joy for our loved one and for all species.
We invoke
your name, Kshitigarbha. We aspire to learn your way with there is darkness, suffering, oppression, and despair, so can bring light, hope, relief, and liberation to those places. We are determined not to forget about or abandon those in desperate situations. We will do our best not contact with those who cannot find a way, those whose cries for help, justice, equality, and human rights are not being heard. Be found in many places on earth. We will do our best not to contribute to creating more hells on earth and to help transform the hells that already exist. The qualities of perseverance and stability, so that like the earth we can always be supportive and faithful to those in need.
We bow together. There's three refuge. I take
refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and of love. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community that lives in harmony.
Dwelling
in the refuge of Buddha, I clearly see the path of light and beauty. the world, dwelling in the refuge of Dharma. I learned to open many doors on the path of transformation, dwelling in the refuge of Sangha. Shining light that supports me, keeping my practice free of obstruction.
Taking
refuge in the Buddha, in myself I help all people recognize their own awakened nature, realizing the mind of love, taking refuge in the Dharma. In myself I aspire to help all people fully master the ways of practice and walk together on the path of liberation, taking refuge in the Sangha. In myself I aspire to help all people build fourfold communities to embrace all beings and support their transformation.
Sharing the merit,
reciting the sutras, practicing the way of awareness gives rise to benefits without limit. We vow to share the fruits with all beings. We vow to offer tribute to parents, teachers, friends, and numerous beings who give guidance and support the life.